There you go.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Hooty hoo! It's Labor Day. Originally we were planning on talking about going off grid with Kangen water, but we'll save that for next month.
Oh, we
And
might we
we'll
might
talk
hit
about
that.
Labor Day.
Yeah, we might hit
Sam,
that topic
what's
too.
that?
We might cover that topic too.
Okay, yeah, we might go there as well. We've got an hour. Sam is so gracious to give us an hour every month, and I, for one, and it will be eternally grateful for this hour. It really is. It does make a difference just being able to visit with this man, and you know, he's just like all of us. He'll be the first to admit that, but he sure has a lot of great stuff to offer. And Sam, what I love so much about you, I was talking to Paul, the tree topper Nelson, about this yesterday, is that there's so many people out there that unless they're making money, they're not willing to do anything for anybody.
Mhm. Yeah.
And those kind of people really bother me, quite frankly, because the only thing they're really important or that really matters to them is the almighty Federal Reserve note. And they they just, I know a lot of people like that's all they care about. If they're not making money, they're not going to do anything. They're not
Hmm.
going to give you a second of their time unless you're paying them for it.
Hmm.
And I like being gracious with my time because I need money just like everybody else does, but it's not the most important thing in my life.
Hmm.
And I need to develop relationships and teach people and help people. And I firmly believe that if you help enough people get what they want, then you'll end up getting what you want in the long run. And so really appreciate how what you do for us and what you do for the entire Kong family and everything about it. I'm just grateful to be friends with you and appreciate the time that you spend. So anyway, we're going to get into labor, and I think there's probably no better person to tell us and talk to us about this concept than Sam Tran on this fine Labor Day. It's raining cats and dogs here in the great state of Utardia, and I'm getting a little touch. I woke up today and went, "Oh, this is like being in Seattle without the ocean." So anyway,
Yeah.
Sam, right on, buddy.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
happy Labor Day.
JJ, could you allow me to share some slides with
Absolutely, yes.
on the recording here?
That part done.
So,
Here you go.
Rodgar, so you drive a truck for a living, right? You drive for is it FedEx, right? Right?
Yeah, I'm driving for owner operator, but it's all managed by FedEx. Yeah.
Okay. And then because JJ, you mentioned before that we all have to work. We all have to earn money and pay for things. I'm a nice guy, but I can't just wink at someone and they're gonna give me teriyaki. It's just not gonna happen that way. You know. Not yet. Maybe someday I'll give them a smile, a wink or something, and they'll go, "Hey, Mr. Tran, like here's your free food." But in this world so far, we have to earn money and pay for things. But as I think in the past year or so, we've seen AI come out, artificial intelligence. So all the computer programmers are really worried about their jobs now. Um, and companies like Uber, Tesla, they're coming out with, automated driving systems, semi trucks, cars. Shoots, even, if you were an astronaut before, you grew up and you wanted to be an astronaut. Well, SpaceX has rockets that take off and land by themselves now.
Yeah.
No people needed, right? Which is kind of crazy. And so, let me share some slides with you guys about what I see as an issue coming. And I had this slide deck. You guys see that? Okay.
Yep.
You see? Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
So I
sir.
I had this slide deck a few years ago, and I was over in I think it was Twin Falls, Idaho, um, giving a talk about career options and yeah, at a health conference, you know, um, and how to get out, basically how to escape the rat race. And it's like but my alternate my My alternative title was this: a scientist who quit science. That doesn't make any sense, right? And so, I was teaching people how to be drivers that can quit driving, how to be nurses that can quit nursing, you know. But my story is I'm a refugee kid from Vietnam. I came over on a refugee boat, one of the boat people back in the late 70s, settled in Spokane, and then went to University of Washington, and then went into pharmaceutical research. And then I had a near-death injury when I hit my head, and I started to study about water. And so now basically I talk to people about drinking water and making an income with it. But this is our lifespan, guys. So JJ, where are you? Are you must be near the 29 mark, right? Where are you at?
That's funny. Yeah, I'm actually just turned 58 2 days
58?
ago.
Rodgar, what about you?
4-0. 4-0.
All right, you're right in the middle. I'm 52. So if you see it like this, lifespan is about 80, and we're all hoping to get to 80, right? Healthy, right? But if you're getting to 90, then you're very lucky. 100, you're extremely lucky. But 80 is what we're shooting for, right? So 52. So if you look at 52 or 50, that means I'm one mark past 40, and I'm closer to 80 than I am closer to zero, right? So, but the reality is, this is the reality. At 18 or 25, a big chunk of your life is work. True?
Yeah.
Right? And most people, shoot, they'll probably work until 65, you know. And then at 65, then you retire. Hopefully, right? If all goes well, if all goes according to plan, right? So then you retire and you go take some senior cruises, hang out at the mall, making laps at the mall, the other senior elderly people, right? But for me, I had this near death, then we pass on, right? But I had this near death incident at 40, so that was a quick check for me to see what how I can enjoy life more, not just work. We all work for income, for their financial freedom. We own a business, and then we get weekends off, right? And then as work, we also develop personally. But in our life, we want to help others. We want to meet new friends, retire early, and leave a legacy. So we have to do both. But what if? But you see on this sign here, work and life are in different directions. But when we work Kangen, when we work something that we love, work and life are in the same direction, right?
Yeah.
Because yeah, when we work Kangen, we actually can make extra income, right? We do own an extra business, right? If we can make extra spare time. We actually have personal development and then financial freedom too, if we work it right, you know. And so that's why I feel there's alignment here. And people always think work and life are opposite. No, work and life to me are actually the same. I can't tell the difference. For me personally, JJ, I can't tell the difference between when I'm playing and when I'm working. I really can't, because it seems like I'm playing all the time, but I'm actually working. To my friends, they think I'm goofing around all the time, but I'm always working. It's just that work and play are the same thing, you know. And this is a really important concept that people need to understand, that they have to get this alignment, not this balance. It's clearly out of balance today, you know.
Yeah.
And so I learned this concept where there's the cash flow quadrant, right? So for me, I was an employee. I was running this hamster wheel like a human hamster, right? Hard work, no security. I would get my butt laid off at 55, and there's no time, right? Because I was trading my time for dollars. This was called active income. Okay. And then my goal was, hey, I need to be my own boss, right? Self-employed. Well, that means you take on a big debt, you open a coffee shop, or a nail salon or something, and then you basically are still you're trading time for dollars. You know, you got to go unlock the door every morning. True. And then insufficient funds and lots of stress. Well, this side of the quadrant here, this side here, the employee side and the self-employed side is where 95% of the people are and only 5% of the wealth is. It's crowded over there. All the employees and all the shop owners, it's really crowded. Okay. And so what I did was I learned about this concept called cash flow quadrant, and it talks about getting over to the right side, getting over to the business owner side or the investor side. So as a business owner, so I've got my little suitcase with my little Enagic business here, right? And so my work is it's easier. I just talk about drinking water. I just talk about earning extra income, right? And it's stable because I'm the one driving it, right? And I do it in my spare time to create spare time. You know, it's not like I have to go unlock a door at a nail salon or you know a restaurant every morning because I own a business. Well, I own an online business, which is totally different, right? So and then investor, right? Investor basically is a person that has no debt, has plenty of money, and then they are actually investing. They're putting their money to work. Every dollar is an employee that doesn't need to take a break. Every dollar is a employee that doesn't need to go on vacation, right? And that employee works 24/7, 365 for the rest of its life until you know, until it earns, you know, until it doubles. It makes another dollar, right? And so that's what we are. That's where I'm at now. I invest in projects. I invest in people. I invest in you know silver, gold, different vehicles to make me money. I'm not the one making money. My investments are, you know. So this is a interesting concept where most people don't, you know, they don't really consider these things yet. Okay, sound good so far?
Absolutely.
All right, so let me get to the
That's
next
that's
one.
one of the things I'd like to point out to people real quick about the investor side of things,
Yeah.
and the business owner side of things. And that one thing special about Enagic is every single person on this planet drinks water.
Mm-hmm.
So at least if they're smart, they do. I know a professional football player who's on the radio that I listen to all the time, and he hates water. He said, "I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely hate water." And I've never been able to get a hold of him and contact him and talk to him about this concept. But you know, you do realize that your body's 75% water, dude. You know, it's amazing you've been able to live this long and be this healthy when you hate water.
Yeah.
But so we've got a product that everybody needs that literally at this point hardly anybody has, and that has zero competition. At this point, there is no competition to Kangen water in the world. There's a bunch of fakes out there, as we've shown on different shows.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's nothing. And then when you get down into this investor side of things, you know, what's his name? Warren Buffett.
Mm-hmm.
He said, if you don't figure out a way to make money while you sleep, you are going to work until you die.
Sure.
And that little statement hit me across the head just as good as the one at the end of the book World Without Cancer, where he says you now have the ability to live in a world without cancer. And the only reason you have this ability is because someone else out there somewhere was gracious enough to bring this information to your attention.
Mm-hmm.
And the final nail to that one was, can you do any less for others? You know, those two things hit me so hard. And, you know, and then it led me to Einstein's statement where he said, compounding interest is the eighth wonder of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Those who understand it earn it. Those who don't pay it.
Mm-hmm.
And so ever since learning those two things, I've been in a constant state of trying to earn money while I sleep and and share this water that everybody in the world needs, and earn compound interest. And so I'm always on the constant lookout for that kind of stuff. And yeah, I think that's pretty cool. And it's definitely, those things are what are on this side over here on the right side
Mhm.
of the money
Yeah.
equation. And
Yeah,
so
because at some point we're gonna get old. At some point you're gonna hit 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, and you just can't physically do what you did when you were younger, you know? Ro- Rodgar, so who's the oldest driver that you know for your company or for FedEx? How old are they?
I'm not sure, but a couple of years ago, I know there was one that was 84 years old.
Wow, 84. So do you want to still be driving when you're 84?
I think you know the answer.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, right. So right, but so there's a limit. There's a physical limit to what we can do. Yeah, mentally, I want to snowboard until I'm 75, but who knows? Maybe 70, 65, I can't snowboard anymore because I got back issues or something, you know. But there's a physical limit. It's not forever, right? And so, but if we can't do something to earn money physically, but we are still healthy enough to be alive, we haven't died yet, then we're gonna have this gap where we're alive but can't earn money, right? But we have to pay for houses and pay for food and gasoline at $5 a gallon or whatever. And so there's this gonna be this gap where we can't earn money physically, but we will still be here on the planet. And so how do we fill that gap? Right? We have to have some investments. We have to have a vehicle. We have to have something that can pay money when we can't earn it physically. Right? Above 75, man, above 75, hopefully you're playing a lot of golf. If you're still working, if you're still standing around trading time for dollars, that's a bad deal.
I already starting golfing.
There you go. You're starting ahead, right? So I teach this concept about, a lot of times people, when we share a magic, when we share can with people have to understand the what, they understand the product, right? And they go out and they try to sell the product, right? And obviously people have to know what we do, but people actually don't buy the product, right? Yes, I bought a machine, but I'm still here 7, 8 years later because I bought a franchise. I bought a passive income tool, and it's something that, yes, I had to understand the science, I had to understand the water and the technology and the machine and the engineering, all of that. But that's not what kept me here, you know. And then the next step is people have to understand, well, how does it work? Well, how do you do this business? So they try to understand the how, and that's great for some people, but for me, that wasn't the reason why I quit my job. Was to understand and just be a smart guy and understand all the engineering, understand all the science. No, my why, and that's the target here, is my motivation. My motivation is to earn passive income. And so Kangen for me is just a tool, right? It's just, the machine that just helps me stay healthy, right? So I have something valuable to share with people. I already drink water, so I might as well get paid for it. Okay. And the business is just, I had to learn. I'm not a business guy. I'm more of a science, academic guy, right? So I'm not a salesman, but I had to learn how to do it in order to achieve my goal. My goal isn't to be a salesman. My goal isn't to sell Kangen machines. My goal isn't to drink water. My goal is to achieve a lifestyle and live this best life while I'm still healthy, and then keep my health and build a business, and I could leave for I could earn passive income when I can't do this anymore. Right now I'm 52, so I probably got 10, hopefully 20, 30 years more of good health. Hopefully 30 more years, 82, right? But it's not guaranteed. But this thing right here is my insurance policy. All I know is I'm super healthy compared to a lot of my peers at 52. And I'm just getting paid to be healthy. I skateboard, and I ski, and I do all this. And my friends are like, first of all, that's great that you're healthy, Sam. But second of all, how can you go skiing like 40 something days a year? Most of my friends are lucky, they'll be lucky to get 6 days a year. And I'm here at 45 or something. How is that possible? Because I work while I ski. I work when I work when I eat. I work when I sleep. I work when I drink water. I work when I travel. I work when I skateboard. I longboard. People like, because I'm a walking billboard for my brand, which is, you know, which is Kangen, which is change your water, change your life. And so that's how come I get this alignment between work and life. They're actually in the same direction. They're not in opposite directions. Right. And so we've been kind of taught differently. But you have to find your why. Because this isn't some get rich quick scheme where people are coming in here and they're gonna make some kind of income claim. Like, oh, now I make $1 million a month and I've only been involved 6 months. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. There's no shortcuts. You got to know what you're doing. You got to have thick skin to handle the rejection, because most people are going to be super skeptical about this, right? And so this is
Well, I was.
what's that?
Said I know I was.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. So I won't go much into my life here, but I'm gonna share this with you guys. Okay, so this is life expectancy, right? All right, here, let me make this full screen here. So this was a few years ago, and I think it's even dropped a couple years in the US now. Not crazy? It's I think it's like 76 years old now. And so this is the total income um by age. Okay, so I forgot here, let's see what are the different colors here. So if you're in the top 10 percentile, you're kind of like this blue here. This purple, this is the 40th percentile. Wait, this doesn't make any sense. Top 10, I don't know. Anyways, but if you see there's a curve where when you're young, you don't earn much money, and then you earn more, and then everyone kind of peaks out about maybe 50 to maybe in their 50s. This person kind of peaks out later and then drops off. But this person peaks out maybe in 51, 52, and then their income drops off. But you guys see how everyone drops off as far as income, right? That's the reality, guys. And so what I'm teaching people to do is how to get to this point. Let me see. Click on this. Instead of having it drop off, have it increase as you're getting older. Okay. So name a career where you earn more money the older you get. How about pilots? Do pilots earn more money the older they get until they die? Like 76-year-old pilots earn more than 42-year-old pilots?
No, commercial pilots have to retire by 60.
There you go. So it's a hard stop.
Yep.
It's a hard stop, right? Rodger, how about truck drivers? Do you earn more? Like a 70-year-old truck driver is going to earn more than a 40-year-old truck driver?
No, like not even an experienced one. Like me, I'm there for about 8 years. So if a new one starts, they earn the same money than we do.
Oh, okay. Wow. That's crazy. That's kind of unfair.
That's right.
Right. JJ, how about river guides? Like a 70-year-old river guide is going to earn more than a 29-year-old river guide? Oh, you're muted there. You're muted.
Only if they own the company.
There you go. Right? You got to own, you got to be the owner, right? And so this really hit me. This hit me because we normally as a worker, I'm just looking for next Friday or next Saturday. I'm looking for the next weekend, working for the weekend, right? Lover boy, right? Right. That's most of the time where we're just thinking about that. And but I when I saw this graph, I was like, holy smokes, it's going to drop off the cliff here. But I plan on living having a better life as I get older. Not decreasing my lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so this really shocked me. So the question here is how long will I live, right? So um, from 0 to 18, that's pretty fun. True. That's the fun part of life, right?
Yeah.
And then from 18 or maybe 25, if you get to go to college, then you earn a little bit more money, right? But then the majority of our life is filled with work. Not crazy, guys? Mind blowing, right? And then after that is fun. After retirement is fun. But you get to go on cruises and stuff like that, and then you pass on to the next life. But the question is here is
How many people get to 80?
yeah, even if you can get to 80, right? But the question here is you see I made the fun disappear, right? Because I started asking people that were retired, are you having fun? Is retirement fun? Wow. And I was like, wait, but you worked. You worked from 18 or 25 to 65. You did work, right? And so you're supposed, in my mind, you're supposed to return to fun, right? But then they have health issues. Anyone above 65 has a lot of health issues. And so that's where we provide the value. So now I provide value because the older I get, the healthier I get, and the longer I live, the more valuable I am, or at least the information that I share. You see, so we've changed the equation here. Normally, when you get older, you're paid less because your marketability as a worker, as a laborer, is less. My value increases as an educator, as a person who who shares about how to live long and how to make income, because I haven't worked a day since 2014, right? Because I switched, and it's been 8-9 years now since I've been in Kangen, right? And so now I share this with so many people around the world, and they're going to see this, and it's going to hit them. I'd rather information hit someone than a car hit someone. I'd rather information hit someone than a layoff hit someone. I'd rather have inspired something that inspires or lights a fire underneath someone than getting a cancer diagnosis, because we're going to get hit with something. I'd rather hit them with this reality that we will fade away, we will die. But the question is, how do we live? How do we live? How do we live a good life, right? And let me see if I can go to the next slide here. I haven't gone. So this is my reality, right? This is my chart here. So so I was born. That's my picture of my kids. Great life, college, work, and at 42, I fell. I had a fall, and then the layoff happened, and then I became 6A, 6A2, and things like that. My kids started college. My son just started college. He's about to go back to his second year, right? And then ultimately, I want to leave a legacy, right? But this is my roadmap, right? But all I know is, like, A lot of people out there, they are being challenged because diabetes is getting younger and younger age. So is cancer. And so this is the information that I share and help people. You know, for me, being in cancer research, there is no cure for cancer, guys. There won't be a cure for cancer. Oh, not in the Western medicine. In other countries and other societies, there is a cure for cancer, but not
There's
in
a,
America.
yeah, there is a cure, not in, like you're saying, not in the Western medicine, but in our world there is a cure.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So that's why I'm sharing with people. And I can't really say that, you know, we don't cure cancer, but I'm gonna say, well, we help prevent cancer. We help get rid of the chemicals out of your body that will lead to chronic health issues. Right. And so this is my life now. This is what I do. Like I ski a lot, I travel a lot, um, and I just share this with people all around the world, right? And this is what we do. We have information that is valuable for people, right? And so let me end this thing here. End this. Let's just stop the share and go back to some questions. Um, and that's what we're doing. People say, "Oh, well, Sam, you sell water." It's like, no, I don't sell water. I give water away. Well, you sell machines. Well, I share information. If people buy a machine, great. If they don't buy a machine, great. You know, and so that's I share the science. I share my business. I share my philosophy about life. If people don't, if people don't believe that, then they can get back to work, and I'll get back to work. You know, at the ski resort. And so it's different kinds of work. And so I have this phrase called GBTW. You guys know what that stands for?
No.
Get back to work, right? And so when someone gives me an objection, I say GBTW. And they're like, what do you mean? Oh, get back to work. Because they might say, oh, this is a pyramid scheme, you're in sales, network marketing, blah, blah, poo poo. And I said, well, you should get back to work at your non network marketing scheme. It's like, hey, I drink water for a living, guys. Okay, I talk about drinking water, and I'm healthy. So people say that's too hard to believe. That's too good to be true. Then GBTW, man, go back and do your thing that you do believe in. That is real. Because this is a big dream. I'm just living the dream. Right? And so yeah, because I was like this. I didn't believe this, JJ. I didn't believe this until I hit my head and went to a coma. Right? I've got this. I don't know if you guys can see this. Can you see that?
Yeah.
The scar in the back of my head right there?
Yes.
Yeah. That's what it took.
That's a war wound.
What's that?
That's a war wound.
Yeah. I was so dense that it took me cracking my head open to get some new information because my mind was so closed. I was so closed-minded that I literally had to fall and crack my head open for it to open a little bit. And then I realized, oh man, I don't know anything. I could have died at 42, and whoosh, all of a sudden I became a student again. But some people, I tell you, some people they're gonna have to face a crisis. They're gonna have to be laid off at 60. Someone's gonna have to die in their family. Maybe they're gonna have to have a heart attack. They'll have to lose their leg to diabetes before they open their mind to the possibility that there might be a better way. And let me share one. This is something that my brother and I are going to teach a class on here pretty soon. So, actually, before I start, I want to see if there's any questions or any questions that you had about that, JJ, or anyone else here.
Personally, I love the whole thought process, and it's kind of interesting because I've always had that mindset and thought process.
Yeah,
I
because you do carpet, right?
always
You do
hated
carpet.
punching a time clock.
Yeah.
Always hated
Yeah.
that. I've done it. I literally stopped doing it from the age of 19 on
Hmm.
until I worked at a ski resort for a winter. That was the last time I've punched a time clock. And I just did that so I could get a ski pass.
Yeah.
But still, I was a carpet guy. And, you know, the one thing I realized about carpet, I'm really good at carpet. I've been doing it for a long time, 35 years. And, but number one, it's hard on my body,
Hmm.
especially when I've had 4 knee surgeries. And number two, every time I do a job, I'm out of a job again.
Mm.
I'm now out of a job. I've got to go find another job. Like I've spent the last 35 of my years of my life being laid off every single time I complete a job.
Mm.
And it's a constant battle. It's been a constant battle trying to find another job.
Hmm.
And yeah, it can be pretty stressful when you know the jobs aren't coming in and you've got the one thing's for sure, kids, the bills, they keep coming in, they don't ever stop.
Yeah, true.
Even those people over in Maui, all their bills for all their houses that burnt down that they owe mortgages on, I guarantee you those mortgages did not stop. They still have
Mhm.
to pay those mortgages, and if they don't, they're going to lose the land to the bank instead of to God knows whoever else. But that's the whole point of it all, is that we've got to find ways to make money while we sleep. Otherwise, we're going to work until we die.
Yeah. And then JJ, that the concept here is we have to own our life. We have to own our thoughts. We have to own our joy, our happiness. Because most people like really they're looking for TGIF. Thank God it's Friday.
Yeah.
Saturday they're gonna watch a little bit of college football. Sunday they're gonna watch a little professional football and they're gonna do laundry and then get to bed early. And then Monday they go out to work. And then Wednesday it's hump day. Oh, we're halfway there. Thursday, one more day. Friday, TGIF. Let's go get some beers and eat some chicken wings, you guys, because it's Friday and it's happy hour, right? And then it's the same thing. It's like a Groundhog Day, that movie, that Bill Murray movie, right? It's the same thing. I'm like, what the heck is this? It's just the same thing. And so I tell people that it's great if that's what if you enjoy that life, that chase, and then we put money into a 401k, right, or something, and hopefully the stock market doesn't crash like 5 years before I retire because I can't because the stock market works on time, right? And so you don't if it crashes 5 years, you might not have enough time to recover. And so and most people don't know anything about stocks. And so you're caught in this situation where you're constantly behind and you're constantly in a situation where someone else is managing your money. Someone understands your money. And then someone else manages your health. And so this is why I teach people about these type of concepts, that you have to own your health. You have to know more than the car mechanic when you go get your car fixed, right? Because if you don't know more than your car mechanic, he could say something. Oh, this is the flux capacitor needs replacement, and you need blinker fluid. But if you don't know anything about cars, you might just buy a gallon of blinker fluid.
What does that look like?
Blinker fluid.
Blinker fluid? Yeah, that goes in your tail light.
1.21 gigawatts.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's the way the world is now. So you're asking all these financial experts and they're talking weird terms, fiduciary responsibility. And you're like, what the hell is fiduciary? Is that some kind of chocolate dessert?
Well, we got the example right here. She had a car at one time, and they sold her a car here in Manitoba where it gets minus 35 in the winter.
Yeah.
I sent her for oil change and I said, ask the mechanic, where's the block heater? And then the mechanic turns after and says to her, there's no block heater, and let her leave by minus 35. It's a woman.
That's crazy, right? But this is happening. So it's medical, it's financial. All these experts, if there's all these financial experts, how is the country at $32 trillion in debt? If there's all these doctors and all these, really smart people, these PhDs, these MDs, how come kids are getting cancer now?
Because it's produced.
You know what I mean? There's something wrong here. It just doesn't add up.
Most people don't want to hear the answer to that question.
Yeah.
I know for a fact because I've been sharing the answer to that question for the last 30 years of my life. And mostly all it's gotten me is a bunch of disdain from people.
Yeah.
People really don't want to know the truth, most people.
Well,
and,
JJ, they don't want to admit that they've been duped.
That's right.
Yeah.
So if you go to a casino and you win $100, you win $100, it will be on social media. You're gonna have balloons drop, everything. You're gonna tell everyone. You're gonna tell all your cousins, oh man, you should go to this casino. I won $100. But if you lose $1,000, you will tell nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because we don't want to put our dirty laundry outside. Right? No one wants to hang their dirty underwear. Right? You only hang the nice laundry. You don't hang the delicates out there, the dirty laundry, right? And so that's a natural thing. Like no one wants to admit that they've been duped. Right? And so that keeps us in this cycle of avoiding these conversations about reality. Right? And so I have those conversations. I will break it down to anyone like layman's terms. We're all gonna die. But the really important thing is how are we gonna live? We're gonna live in fear? No, I've already been to heaven. I've already seen that. So I'm not even afraid to die because when you die, you go to heaven. In heaven, there's nothing but love and acceptance.
That's true. Take me now.
Yeah, I know.
But you have a mission here now, so
yeah,
just keep that in mind, right?
Yep, it changed my mind. It changed my focus, and so now I share with people like, well, but how do you make heaven on earth? How? Right, and that's why I share with people, right? And so the next thing I want to share with you guys, and this is a concept I'm going to be developing a school around. This concept called the 6 levels of consciousness, okay, or 6 levels of mindset, right? And it's kind of like a bullseye. There's a bullseye theme today here. Can you guys see that? Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So the farthest out level is materialism. Okay. So most people are taught go to school, get a good job, and so you make a good living, earn good money, right? Well, what do you do with that money? Well, you buy a car to impress a girl, right? So you can get married, right? Well, nowadays, I don't know, they teach other stuff, but that was a traditional thing, right? And then you impress a girl, you get married, buy a house together, have children, and then teach your children the same thing. Go to school, study hard, meet a girl, make good money, meet a girl, and it gets over and over. It's the same thing. But you get stuck in this materialism. Your neighbor shows up with a Tesla, and then you feel like, oh, we should get one of those too.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Yep, keep up with the Joneses, right? And so the problem is the neighbor there is living in your neighborhood. That's why he's living across your house and he has a Tesla. Right? Literally, my neighbor across the street, Sabru, he's a great guy. He does have a Tesla, right? But he has a fancy car payment and a fancy car to take him to the same job, right? Right? It's kind of weird. So now he goes to work for free, kind of, right, to earn money to pay for the notes, the IOU on the car. Meanwhile, the car is depreciating in value because the new Teslas keep coming out. And so he's going to the same job, just with a fancier ride. It's
Right.
crazy. And he goes, Sam, how come you still have your Acura? And I say, well, it's because it costs me nothing now. Right. So I didn't upgrade my car. Well, I have a Prius. I have a little 2017 Prius. But I bought that because gas was expensive and it gets 50 miles a gallon. Right. So I drive a Prius. I have an old 2002 Acura. My wife drives a minivan, and my daughter has the newest car. She has an Infinity. What's that? What you got there, Rodger? You're on mute.
He has a smart car. That's what he wanted to show off.
Yeah.
Smart car.
What is that? I can't see the picture. What kind of car is it?
It's a
There
beer
you go.
can.
That is probably very efficient. There we go. So we're caught in this materialism, and this is where 95% of the people are. They're caught, right? And then they don't understand that there's another way to earn money, so they go and they trade time for dollars. And it's just this vicious cycle, and then you're never really on target. You know you want to be free, and you know you want to travel the world, but you're caught because you have to go into work. Okay. And the next level is emotional. You know, people get addicted, like, oh, I want to be happy. I want to have joy all the time. I don't want to experience any pain. Right. Or they want they get caught up in this cycle of I want to be important. You know, so if they're caught up in emotions, then emotions like fear can control them. And you guys just saw it in this last pandemic, right? What was the pandemic about? It was a psyop.
Fear.
Control.
Yep.
Control. But how did they control all these people? Fear. Oh, if you don't do this, you're going to kill grandma and grandpa. If you don't do this, you're going to lose your job. You know, if you don't do this, then you're a bad human being. So it was emotional control. Right. So we have to gain control and escape that mindset that yes, I'm a human being. I'm not a robot yet. Right. But maybe they're trying to make me into a robot. I have emotions, but I have emotions, right? The emotions don't have me. I'm not a walking bag of jealousy here. You know, I'm not a walking bag of, depression. I'm a human being that has emotions, not like a bag of fear walking around. But in the pandemic, people were like literally a bag of fear. You know, a 6'2" or 5'5", 160-pound bag of fear walking around. Yeah. Right. And so we have to be in control of this. You know, and that's the second level. The third level is life and health, right? People and so they're like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. And like people get caught up in this. I said, yeah, there's a lot of people that get caught up in how their butt looks in yoga pants or six-pack abs. And it's their whole being, right? It's kind of like, if you ever have a friend that had some plastic surgery, because they feel like they're inadequate, right? And then they have another plastic surgery and another plastic surgery, and pretty soon they look like Michael Jackson. Kind of distorted in a way because they've messed up God's creation here. Like they've done too much, and so it's another trap for people. The health and beauty type thing, and nowadays with social media, you see a lot of people, they get caught in this life and health, TikToks. They're dancing and doing all this, and they're just putting on a show, right?
Yeah.
Next level is knowledge. You have these academics, these PhDs, super smart people, right? And they're all about their degrees. And I'm a scientist. I'm a PhD. I'm a medical doctor. Well, for me, like, who the hell cares? But there's some people that you tell them something, oh, can you show me the clinical data? Because they've got this mindset of knowledge, right? And so they're trapped by that. The next level is charity, which is really good. But there are people that are trapped in doing good, like the whole uh like, so anytime where there's a crisis in the world, you tie a yellow ribbon, or you fly a flag, or you support, um Paris Strong, or some kind of, Katrina Strong, or something like that. You 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 associate your name with something just because everyone else is doing it, just because you want to look good, right? And so that's another trap. It's a high level trap, but it's still a trap. It's called a charity trap. And actually, we have to give, but don't give expecting a receipt. Most people, they give, but they want some kind of credit. Like, sometimes people only volunteer because they're trying to get into school. They only volunteer because it makes them look good. No, if you're going to volunteer, just volunteer. Don't 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 go for the extra thing that, oh, this will make me more attractive as a human being because I volunteer at the orphanage. No, if you're going to volunteer at the orphanage, be there for the kids, not for yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Amen.
And the last thing, the target here is being nothing. Like going into nothingness. Because at the end of our life, we will fade away. And if you're okay with being nothing, then you have nothing to lose. But if you're always trying to be something, you want to be richer, you want to be prettier, you want to have a faster car, a bigger house, bigger boat, all sorts of, you're always chasing, then the chase becomes the jail. Right? So for me, after I hit my head, well, actually, even before I hit my head, I was already writing things about nothingness. Let me see if I can find something to show you guys here. I think it's Blogger. I think I wrote this. So I hit my head in 2014, right? Okay. So I wrote this. Let me see if I can minimize this. Okay, I can view this. See if it's, it's still open up. All right, he's out Wednesday, November 26, 2014. This is before I got into Kangen, right? JJ, can you read that for me?
Into nothingness. I am nobody. There's a movie out there called Nobody. It's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, I know.
If you like that kind of movie, which I do. In the news today, and what seems like every day, there are stories of shootings by people of people. I see so much suffering, but choose not to suffer. In response, other people riot or rally to bring more attention to the injustice in the hopes of changing someone else's thoughts, beliefs, and ultimately their actions. The truth is that we cannot change others. We can only change ourselves. Injustice will not be a revelation or a thought that we can force onto others. Injustice is a revelation that we can only bring upon ourselves. The need to change others is strong, but how can we change others if we do not control our own selves? I realize now that I am nothing, which seems counterintuitive, see paradox, but it is freeing. To realize that you are nothing allows you to do anything, even changing yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Okay, hang on, let me move
Through
this up.
changing ourselves can we change others. Once you, Sydney and Spencer, realize this, then there are no limits that can be put on you. Once you learn self-control, then there is no need for others to control you. This is because wherever you go, you will be the boss of yourself. Only those that think that they are nothing have the freedom to put a dent in the universe. Those with big egos are controlled by ego. I am nobody. I am nothing. I am everything too. I am Kangen water.
Okay.
I
So,
love that.
so if you look at the date here, November 26, 2014. And I was putting this stuff on Facebook and people were getting mad at me because they're like, what the heck are you, what this is not the right place, you guys, um, to share this. Right. And I started writing all this. And so I didn't hit my head until 2000 June 7th, 2014. So I was writing all of this even before I hit my head, JJ. Is that crazy?
Yeah.
And so I was having these out of body experiences meditating. And then about meditation, you gain control of your own thoughts. And then when I hit my head, that's when it's like, hey man, you gotta do something about this now. You have control of your own thoughts. And if you do nothing with that, that's a huge waste. Because most people can't even control this. The TV controls it. The banker controls it. Your neighbor showing up with a new fancy car controls your thinking. Because all of a sudden now you got to chase. Right. So yeah, that's so I'm going to be teaching about some of these concepts with my brother coming up here pretty soon. But thoughts, feedback, you guys, what do you guys think of all that?
I love it. I think
Good stuff for sure.
yeah, it's good stuff for people to contemplate. And
Yeah.
That's the thing about you, Sam. That's why I love this. Yeah, I look forward to this day every month because you just give me so many cool things to think about. Because ultimately, our success or failure depends on what's up here in our mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. And going after the next bigger, better thing is just an empty. It's an empty drive for nothing. And I was wondering. So, if I may ask, what is your religion? Because when you talk about nothingness, that
Yeah.
to me speaks of not Shintoism but Buddhism. Are you?
Yeah. So my parents are Buddhists. I'm my oldest brother is Catholic. I'm Christian. But after I hit my head, I became more spiritual. I don't really ascribe to organized religion. I have a direct connection and a direct understanding and relationship with my creator. So I don't need middlemen.
Gotcha.
But do I go to church? Yeah, I go to church once in a while. Do I go to temple? Yeah, I go to temple once in a while. But it's not like this level of control, because
It, it,
spirituality is a one-on-one thing. It's not like a
absolutely.
obligation. Yeah.
And I am of the same belief. I was raised Catholic, but I am of the same belief as you that I don't need a middleman. But I just, when you were talking about nothingness, I thought, well, that's sort of a Buddhist belief. But yeah, if you spend your whole life trying to keep up with the Joneses, you're going to end up pretty empty and wondering how in the hell you got there.
Yeah, yeah. And that's why, like my car is a good example. My 2002 Acura TL. So I bought that car. I test drove the car 2 miles on it. I think I put 10 miles on it. So I bought the car when it had 12 miles on it. It's got like 380,000 miles or so on it now.
Nice.
I've owned it for 21 years. I'm the original owner. I've done like 45 oil changes. I've done all the brake jobs. I put a new transmission in it because those things like They have weak transmissions. And I know everything. I've taken the dash apart. I've put sound deadening in the doors, all sorts of things. And and it's something that I don't need to keep up with the Joneses. It's just
Gets
something
you
that's
from
there.
point A to point B.
Yeah.
Yep.
And my son drives it to college. He drives, he goes to college in Washington State University, which is the other side of the state, but he's driving it back and forth, you know. And so it's just why do we have to, keep up with the Joneses? Now it's all electric cars, and I'm like, well, I have a hybrid. I drive it around, but I think gasoline is still going to be on this continent. I mean, on this planet for a while. Obviously, we need to shift to something that's a little bit more environmentally friendly, but that's going to be with time. That's not going to be a sudden change, you know.
Right.
But there's a lot of things being pushed down our throats, and unfortunately, I don't take kindly to any kind of bullying, even if it's intellectual bullying, science, the whole science bullying of the whole pandemic. I was like, who are these who are these experts that keep on telling us they can solve everything? They can't solve cancer, they can't solve diabetes, they can't solve acid reflux, but in 1 year they're going to solve like COVID.
Yeah.
Only to make money.
Yeah. And I think more and more people are coming out now, because I know for sure everyone thought I was a nut job during the pandemic, telling everyone that they're, don't
Right.
believe big pharma and don't believe your government. And so I was on the outs. All my relatives thought I was a nut job, but now they were like, how'd you know ahead? I'm like, dude, it's called common sense.
Yes,
There you
exactly.
go. Got her.
You can't, they don't offer PhDs and master's degrees and bachelor's degrees in common sense. That's something that you just retain.
They only offer interest.
Yeah.
Sam, I love this topic today. I'm glad we went this route. I think it's totally fitting considering that this is Labor Day. And for your talk at the beginning about labor and money and the the financial quadrants that we're in one of them. Everybody's in one of them. Some people are in all of them. But the cool part is how you transitioned over into mindset, because ultimately everything is determined by our mindset, and I talk a lot to people about Kangen water being 75, water is 75% of your body, right?
Mm-hmm.
That makes water the most important component of your body, of your health, I call it the health equation. 75%, obviously that's 75% of the equation. But there's so many people out there who think that the most important part of the health equation is my nutrition, what my diet is. The most important part is my exercise, or the most important part is the environment that's around me, or the most important part is my mindset. And the truth is, those four things are only 25% of the equation. And in the reality of that, your mindset, because when you get people to think about that 25%, they go, all right, okay, I get you. 75%, that's obviously the most important part. And the other 25%, I love asking people, what's the other 25%? And, they'll always give me one of those four answers.
Mm-hmm.
And those four, the main one, the most important component, which usually is listed as the last one of the four, is their mindset. Your mindset is the most important thing. It's the only thing that's going to get you to transition. Yeah. Like you said, you had a closed mind, and then all of a sudden it opened up because of things that happened. And that's when everything changed, right?
Yeah, yeah. There's we're going to change. We have to change, right? We have to evolve. It just thank goodness I don't have a mind of a teenager anymore, because it'd be kind of bad to be a 52-year-old guy with a brain like the mindset of an 18-year-old. Sometimes my wife thinks I'm just a big kid still, but that's just the fun side of me, right?
That's right.
But right, right, but we have to evolve, right? But
I'm
if
screwed, man. I'm screwed.
Yeah,
I'll
I was
always be an 18-year-old.
so if we don't um progress, if we don't grow up physically, like if I'm still crawling around like a baby, that's going to be a problem. Okay, so I have to grow physically. I have to grow my intelligence, right? I can't just run out into the street and not know how to cross the street. That's going to get me killed, right? That's what happened to the squirrels. The squirrels that don't figure that game out, they end up flat squirrels, right? And so I have to grow up emotionally. I have to grow up spiritually. I have to evolve, right? And so people think, oh, I'm going to go to school and get a good job. Yeah, well, that's a financial move. Earn more money. College students usually earn a little bit more money than high school students. And so yeah, we have to evolve, but you keep evolving. It's limitless. Don't let your learning stop when you graduate college or high school. Keep learning, because if we don't evolve, we're going to be tested by life. We're going to be tested by something that will force us to evolve. And if we stop our evolution, then we're going to be stuck at that low level vibration, low level energy, right? And that's what we don't want.
Yeah. Amen.
Well, I look forward to seeing you on the river here in a little bit.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, that's going to be an exciting trip. I'm excited for it.
But hopefully, yeah. So I think this recording, I'll share it on the Facebook group, and I think people will, I think, enjoy this hopefully thought-provoking concept.
Yeah.
But any questions, guys, before we sign off? Comments, feedback?
As always, it's a great time listening to your wisdom, sir.
Well, we got to share. You guys got to share life wisdom and stuff with me too, because it does take a village.
Amen.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Take
Sam.
care, guys.
I really appreciate it. And you know how much I love you and love learning from you, and also, in my little ways that I can teach you, I'm always happy to do that, because ultimately that's what Ed Griffin referred to as doing no less for others.
Yeah.
If you have something good, you have a moral duty to share it.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's as far as it goes. If people aren't interested, that's fine. You've done your job. You have to share it. At least that's the way it is for me. If I have something good, I've got to share it with the people. And it doesn't matter whether it's some person helping me down at Lowe's, or whether it's one of my best friends or family members. If I have something good, I have to share it. And that's the beautiful thing about this little meeting that we do at the beginning of every month, is that it's good. It's good stuff, and we need to share it. And I know that it's hard getting somebody to sit down and listen to an hour-long conversation. I mean, it's hard enough to get somebody to watch a 5-minute video versus an hour-long video. But I think the one thing about you, Sam, is that the value that you bring to the show, and that we bring to this thing as a group, with basically you as our fearless leader, it's something that is going to start to take hold, and that people are going to realize that there is value in this hour. It's way more valuable than watching a football game or watching a John Wick movie or something like that. Whatever. I mean, it's the value is the key, and we all know that. And that's really the staple of Kangen water, is that it's literally the most valuable thing that a human being can own.
True.
But they're never going to understand that until their mind gets shifted.
True.
And so,
hey JJ, can you close us out with a prayer?
absolutely. Our Father in heaven, I want to thank you for this wonderful opportunity to get together on Labor Day and talk about the perils of labor and the potential success of labor, and how we might have the ability to shift our mindsets away from the labor mindset over to the entrepreneurial mindset. Obviously, both require labor, but one of them requires a mindset shift. And what I ask, Lord, is that you will help us, give us the strength and the fortitude, the wisdom, the knowledge to be able to share the entrepreneurial mindset versus the labor mindset, and that we might be able to change people's lives. We might be able to really make the motto of the company that we all love so much become a reality for everyone. The mindset of change your water, change your life. Because Lord, it ain't no joke. You know that. You and Mr. Oshiro created something very special. And I just ask that you will help us to bring people into this room by more and more and more people every month, so that we can accomplish our mission of this show, which is making a difference. I say all these things in love to my Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, JJ. Rodgar. Yeah. So cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next month, and hit me up with whatever topics you guys want to hear about. Okay.
That sounds great. Actually, next month, if hopefully by next month we'll have a little better handle going down with our off-grid Kangen water, and we'll be able to show people that. In fact, by that time, we really want to have it all figured out.
Yeah.
And we can give people a little demo or something as to how they can have Kangen water even if everything goes bad. Yeah. And so, because ultimately it's the most important part of the equation.
True.
The kind of water you drink matters. We all know that. And we've got something good. We need to do everything we can to share it with others. Love you guys.
All right, guys.
You guys have an awesome day, an awesome week, and an awesome month. And let's get out there and change the world.
All right, bye, guys.
Kids, here's a hug for you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.